Good morning. Welcome back to our morning show with yours truly, Dex the Algo Capitalist. Welcome to the Capitalist Society, where we get into these markets. And we do have an announcement for you this morning. But first, let's get into these overnight markets, shall we? As you already know, we did our thing last night, as we always do, with the watch list. And a lot of you are now well positioned. Let's see how the overnight markets performed. Well, we got the US dollar index down 2 pips right now, trading at 104.05. So it actually went back above the 104 handle and is trying to hold that 104 handle. As a result, the euro is now up 3 pips at 108.21. Pound sterling up 10 pips at 126.31. And the Aussie's up 4 pips at 65.59. So basically, not a lot going on there. However, in Bitcoin, though, the market is down 1,185, trading at 50,905. It did top out in the overnight market at 52,655. And now we're hovering just off the lows of the overnight of 50,575. Likewise, the Ethereum futures are down 101.5, trading at 2883.50. Overnight market was 3,043. And right now we're at the lows of the session, just a tick off, or just literally a tick off of the low of the session of 2883. As far as crude oil is concerned, it's off 6 cents, trading at $76 and I'm sorry, make that $77.02 a barrel. And then we have nat gas is up 18 cents at 176 after flirting with that buck 50 the other day. Then we have gold. Gold futures are down a buck 20, trading at $2,038.50 per ounce. Silver futures off 6 cents, trading at $23.07. It's really trying to hug and hold on to that $23 handle. It should be noted that technically speaking, you have a bullish 2 bar Charlie setup this morning on your silver. All right. But it's looking like this could be one of that 1% of the time where it's really less than 1% of the time where your 2 bar Charlie setups don't hold. So silver will be very interesting because with a bullish 2 bar Charlie setup, we expect an all day up day and for the market to finish in the green. So we'll see if this 2 bar Charlie setup can hold this morning. Looking at copper, copper's up 3 pennies at $3.89. Dow futures down 164 points at 38,475. Just up. Don't take that back. We just put in a new low. We just took out the overnight low. All right, 38,462 is current market. Looking at the E-mini S&P 500, it's down 15.25 points at 49.76 even. The NASDAQ 100 is down 101 points and 3/4, trading at 15,507.25. The Russell, which is acting as the strongest right now, is at 1996.60, down 12.6. So it's dipped below 2,000. Remember, we talked about the conundrum of the Russell and gold. Both have had trouble staying above 2,000. So right now, gold is doing a little bit better than the Russell. Gold's at 2038. Russell's at 1996. So Russell has dipped below that $2,000 psychological support / resistance zone. The next stop, if it cannot conquer it, will be 1900. And if that doesn't hold, well, you know what that means. Soybean futures are down a whopping 10 cents a bushel, trading at $11.68 a bushel. Corn is at $4.15 a bushel, down 3 pennies. And wheat is down 6 cents, trading at $5.76 per bushel. And now we get into our news segment. But first, we have some news of our own. Frank, take it away.
What's up, buddy? How you doing? Good morning, Algo Capitalist. It's good to be here. We have a webinar that's happening today, 11:30, and this is not only requested but also something we've been really eager to do. So, if you go to pulsewavetrading.com, click on webinars, you could register right there. Apologize to those of you who are new members who have to register there. It'll just it just takes your email. In the future, we'll make that easier for you, but it's just an email. It's no big deal. So. But anybody can register for this orientation. And this one is about the attack trading method. This is the first part. And so this is perfect for two types of people, Dex. It's for anybody who's just interested in what we do. You want to understand what it's all about. You want to ask some questions about the attack system, questions about our bullpen memberships. Perfect for you. But if you're new and you're already invested in doing this, then this is really, really great for you. This is our new updated orientation. And then we're going to follow it by more detailed sessions for the rest of the week and maybe even in the next week, depending on how we do the outline. But we're going to get into how the whole system works, how to set up and sort of walk you through the day of an algo capitalist trader in our bullpen. And then tomorrow we'll begin the more detailed things. So we'll talk about how to set yourself up today, accounts, stuff like that, minimums, what are you going to be trading, what you need to set up, that kind of thing, and plus a little bit more. We'll get into the nuts and bolts, and then we'll get more and more granular as the week goes on. So we're excited. This is part one of that, and that's today at 11:30, and you can go to pulsewavetrading.com and just click on webinars, and you'll find that easily. Aside from that, I believe the link is in the description. It's been a long morning, but
It should be in the description by now,
I
right?
believe. No, definitely to Pulse Wave Trading, but I meant specifically to the webinar page. But yeah, it's in there. Very easy to find. All right. Thanks, folks. Back to you, Dex. And
Thanks,
I will
Frank.
just remind everybody to get your questions in because we might take a few before we go. And then, but especially in our private session for our members, which continues after this segment. So thanks, Dex.
And thank you for that update, my man.
My pleasure.
All right. So, what is on tap for today? Well, if you've been paying attention, you already know what the big event is today. And that big event is NVIDIA reporting after the close. Now, irregardless of what NVIDIA reports, whether it be good news or bad news, that's not the issue. The issue is what is the market going to do with that information? Markets have been known historically to both rally and crash on good news or bad news. It just depends on the perspective of the money flow. The money flow is the final vote in the court of markets. So we have three charts that will ease most people's concerns over a stock bubble, but I venture to say that bubbles are in the eye of the beholder, okay? And that's just what it is. So if you look at the rolling returns within a 10-year range, you'll see the NASDAQ 100 rolling 4-year percentage. And that may make you think that we still got some room as far as the upside is to go, and that we're not really in a bubble, okay? And if you look at Cisco versus NVIDIA, going all the way back to 1995, when NVIDIA's price lagged for like 25 years, and then look at today, NVIDIA has to go 3 times in 433 days to be at .com bubble levels. And technically speaking, that hasn't happened yet. All right. Cisco used to be the NVIDIA of its day. So that's a perspective. Okay. It's a perspective, but it's not the only perspective. Established companies are already killing it on OpenAI's new GPT store, and a recruiter explains how to stand out from other job applicants. The only way to stand out from other job applicants is if you show up to the interview with wires and circuits sticking out of your neck and you say, I am part human, I am part AI learning machine, and I work for free. That's the only way you're going to get that job. All right. Because the AI in the other room doesn't take sick days, it doesn't even receive a paycheck, it doesn't even get benefits. The computers are always running, the robots are always running. They don't take breaks, they don't take anything. Vacations, nothing. Maternity leave, nothing. Bereavement leave, nothing, nothing, and nothing. Even during the pandemic, when the world was locked down, shut down, the AI was still working. The robots were still working because they're not people. They're not prone to viruses and bacterial infections like human beings are. Now, of course, technology has its own viruses that can happen, right? But that is pretty much written out of the equation because most of these things are closed in systems. They're not open air systems. So instead of using the internet, they're using their own intranet. So any kind of virus, for the most part, will most likely be done from inside job. Let's just be honest about it. All right, that deserves its own video or show in and of itself. So let's move on. The big story is about NVIDIA. NVIDIA reports today, and yes, like we said previously, NVIDIA is the new Cisco Systems of the 2020s. It's AI's golden child, and it's going to take center stage today. So NVIDIA is set to post its fourth quarter earnings after the bell in what could be the most important report of the season. The chip maker is the proverbial pick and shovel salesperson in AI gold rush. Its GPUs play a crucial role in powering large language AI models like ChatGPT. NVIDIA is also part of the all-encompassing Magnificent Seven. But even within that elite group of big tech stocks, it's in a category all by itself. The world's third most valuable company shares have skyrocketed 230% over the past 12 months. That performance has far outstripped the rest of the Magnificent Seven. Only Meta has posted comparable returns during that time frame, rising 170%. Still, there's a risk the semiconductor giant stellar run stalls. Regulations have limited NVIDIA's business in China, a market that accounted for 20% of its revenue in 2023. And when a stock jumps so quickly in a short period, there are always questions about whether its valuation is sustainable. Yeah, thanks to something to think about there, right? The chipmaker's customers' recent success could be a good omen. Other big tech stocks' strong earnings results in the past few weeks, partially fueled by their investment in AI, serve as another feature in NVIDIA's cap. If AI is the next industrial revolution, then absolutely we could see NVIDIA's valuation surge continuing. So, NVIDIA's earnings report could have wider implications for the entire stock market. One expert said that disappointing results could lead to a wider sell off where stocks drop by as much as 10%. Part of the issue is that investors are short of cash, making it more difficult for them to buy the dip if the market tumbles. Well, I mean, it's not so easy to buy a $700 stock now, is it? Some investing gurus have also been predicting that money will rotate out of the Magnificent Seven this year. There's also the question of whether people will continue to buy NVIDIA. The company's stock surpassed Tesla as the most traded stock during the last 30 trading sessions. It could be one of the cases where it has good numbers, it bounces after the numbers, and everyone looks around and goes, who's the buyer? Turns out no one is a buyer. One person who won't be buying NVIDIA, you guessed it, Kathy Wood. Wood's ARK investment has been selling its shares, and the polarizing investor said on Sunday that expectations could be getting ahead of themselves for the AI darling. That dismissal might end up being a blessing in disguise rather than the kiss of death. A hellish 2-year trading stretch means that ARK Invest has now destroyed $14.3 billion in wealth over the past decade, according to Morningstar estimates. So, yeah, John, I did see the report on the successful Neuralink implant. I remember when they played that on the Business Channel. I saw that, but they didn't. It was pretty vague. It didn't give too much details on exactly what that encompassed and how that worked and what its functions and features were and limitations. So I have no idea as far as that is concerned. But the better question is, what makes this market so different? The stock market doesn't have many of the characteristics often found in previous bubbles, like obvious signs of high and rising leverage, according to one economist. If you're a visual learner, well, there are some charts that show we're not trending toward another dot-com crash, but those aren't the real charts. The real charts, folks, is price action itself. I don't care whatever econometric model you're using. Nothing is more robust than price itself. Price tells you exactly where the market is going. UBS gets even more bullish on its market outlook. The bank raised its year-end S&P 500 target to 5,400, roughly 9% above current levels. According to an analyst note, the adjustment was partly fueled by higher inflation, which tends to be positive for stocks. Strong job numbers may be deceiving investors. Wells Fargo strategist Eric Nelson thinks the labor market isn't as robust as some of the latest data has made it out to be. Signs of weakness could encourage the Federal Reserve to slash interest rates sooner than expected. Yeah, well, I think that if NVIDIA starts a stock market crash this evening, that will twist the Fed's arm into an emergency interest rate cut in between meetings. The last time they did this was between January and March of the year 2000, the year of the dot-com bubble bursting. How Jack Dorsey's failure led to Elon Musk's arrival at Twitter. To understand how Musk came to acquire Twitter, you must first understand how Dorsey ran the company in the first place. Very interesting, right? Established tech companies are dominating OpenAI's new GPT store. Firms like AllTrails, Canva, and Kayak all have popular GPTs. Leaders at each company explain how they found success on the GPT store. Interviewers won't be able to tell if you use ChatGPT to ace coding rounds. Job candidates can easily pass certain rounds of the hiring process using OpenAI's intelligent language tool, according to a recent experiment. Well, I mean, think about it. ChatGPT, you using that kind of AI, it can write your term papers for you. It can help you pass tests. It can do a lot of stuff. It can even probably record a rap album for you. You know, it's hilarious. Use these tips to stand out from other job applicants. Like I said, anything short of wires and circuits sticking out of your neck, you can forget it. It's no longer an employee's market, making it much more important to make a stellar first impression. Yeah, think about it. Amazon's retail CEO stressed the importance of staying ahead in AI. In leaked audio from an internal all hands meeting, Doug Harrington warned employees that Amazon must stay ahead of the change to remain successful, which means more layoffs. EY and Deloitte are upping the heat. The accounting giants are reportedly scrutinizing employees' workloads and letting go of underemployed staff in a bid to cut costs. The big four firms laid off thousands of workers last year in response to the challenging economic climate. Yeah, you can expect a lot more too. All right, let's see here. Next, we got the other news. All right, Americans aren't having enough children. That's bad news for the economy, and immigration may be the answer. Of course, if you think about it, it's kind of a hit piece because we've had catastrophic results at the border. So now this takes the sting out of that. Now they can always say, well, we allow this influx of immigration because we need more bodies, because we're just not having enough children. Americans aren't having enough children. So let's just have no borders, no border security, and just let anyone who wants to come into the country. Yeah, like that's a good foreign policy. That's a good policy. Why not? Why not? Ex-Honduras President Juan Orlando Hernandez, former U.S. ally, to stand trial in New York for alleged cocaine smuggling empire. Well, if you're going to put him on trial, you need to march pretty much half of the all U.S. senators, and you need to put them in there too, and a couple of ex-presidents of the United States needs to be standing right next to him in court. Those need to be his co-defendants, because that's where all the drugs are coming from. It's coming from the United States government. So you have to put the heads of the CIA in there, the heads of Homeland Security, the heads of the Pentagon, all that, Joint Chief of Staff. You got to put everyone who basically has a high position in government needs to be standing right next to him. All right. So you're going to need a larger courtroom for this. Okay. Much larger courtroom. Saudi Arabia's futuristic mega projects are so expensive that even its oil riches may not be enough. Elon Musk says the Neuralink's first patient can move a computer mouse by just thinking. Okay, well, whoop-de-doo. So what, that's supposed to make everyone want to put circuits and wires in their brain? Really? I don't really see an upside here, but I see a lot of potential downside. So let me get this straight. The U.S. has had reports of Russian and or Chinese and or North Korean hacking going back over a decade. Dozens and dozens of incidents where they've gotten into every government department of the USA. Everything from Social Security to stolen laptops from the FDA, from the CDC. You name a government department or agency, and I don't think there's one standing today that has not been hacked or claimed to have been hacked or reportedly have been hacked. Doesn't matter if it was a Chinese actor, Russian actor, North Korean actor, Iranian, whoever, whatever. Doesn't matter. And you're saying that it's safe now to put your brain online also for the same hackers to come and hack your brain? I mean, hold on. This might be a good thing. All right. And I'm going to end it with this. Maybe everyone should get their brains hacked by Elon Musk, put a chip in there, especially if you are a career criminal. Because for the first time in history, your defense will get you off. Want to know why? No longer do you have to say the devil made me do it. You can say the microchip in my brain made me do it. Someone hacked me. I'm not responsible for my actions. Bump. All right, folks, that is the end of our morning show. Of course, today's earnings is NVIDIA and HSBC, to name a few, NVIDIA being the biggest. Wow. Every day, it never ceases to amaze me.
I made an accidental sound effect for NVIDIA when I dropped my microphone.
Oh, that's what it is. It's gonna be a lot of sounds for NVIDIA today.
A lot of sounds. All right, folks, we're in a minute going to get into our private session, and so get ready. We're going to kick some people off. If you're waiting for that, we'll be right there. You can all watch this wonderful screen and listen to this.
I am very proud to announce the release of my all-new Algo Capitalist Bullpen. Please join me for our new Algo Capitalist Bullpen how-to webinar, featuring a step-by-step demonstration on how to use the all-new A.T.A.C system. That's the Algo Trend Trigger Alert Catcher Reports. You heard that right. Our system tracks trends and alerts us when they are forming before it hits the market. Learn how I use those reports as a professional trader every day. Not only do I use them myself, I publish them for my members every evening, Sunday through Thursday. Then live stream how I use them to trade once in the morning and once again in the evening when the reports get updated. We make time for questions before and after each live bullpen session. Sessions are recorded live and ready for replay instantly. Our webinars are brief and easy to understand. Plus, find out how you can get a bonus airdrop of our Founders Pass in order to get early beta access and lifetime memberships to the new Algo Capitalist Society and the Capitalist Letter. Register for this free webinar on postwavetrading.com. Join us live or watch the replay whenever you want. Go to postwavetrading.com. I am very proud to announce the release